I look like a clan. Now I look like the clan member. Hey guys, I'm here at the Chassel. The Chassel is our church castle. My daughter named it. I have to go to New Philadelphia today, Ohio. I just got back from Lancaster, Lancaster, Pennsylvania. So I guess New Philadelphia is where some Philadelphians from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania created a new city in Ohio, and it took us 5 hours to drive from Lancaster to here in West Virginia, 4.5 hours. New Philadelphia, there was a Philadelphia in the book of Revelation. One of the 7 churches was called Philadelphia. Philadelphia is Greek for brotherly love. Philos is one of the 7 kinds of love, like eros and I don't want to say the word wrong. Agape. There's agape love. There's philos, friendship love. There's eros, sexual love. I think the Greeks had 7 different words to describe love. So they were very technical, abstract speakers. The Hebrew speakers were much more concrete. Their language was based in their everyday experience of being shepherds and living in tents. And what's interesting is we went to celebrate the Feast of Tabernacles. I didn't shower for days. We helped our friends on that Amish hemp farm. They didn't want us to take any pictures of them. My daughter had a great time because they have 3 daughters, but the young boys speak Dutch, so my son had trouble speaking with them. So he did wrestling and playing with them, but they didn't speak English that well. And they call us the English. So we really were strangers in a strange land. I know.
I have a kick with that.
Isn't that funny? They like, nah, like we're English, like from England or something, even though we're Americans. You know, the English. And they talk a little, their accent is a little funny, but they're just, the people who we know, I don't know if all Amish are like that, but we happen to make some good friends there. And I feel really blessed. I've got to prepare now to meet these people. I sold one of my trucks and it didn't transfer properly. It was my fault. So I have to drive to New Philadelphia to go meet these people. As I said, Philadelphia is in the book of Revelation. And what we did was we Feast of Tabernacles, Sukkot. Sukkot is the Hebrew word. All my Jewish friends would be like, dude, what are you, Christian? What are you, a Gentile, Goyim? So to live in the Sukkah, or to Sukkot, is to live with God and to experience. I think Mario put up the quote yesterday from Leviticus, where it says we go as strangers in a strange land so we can experience for 1 week out of the year what our ancestors experienced in Saudi Arabia as they went around the Mount Sinai for 40 years. And what was interesting was the kids had a great time. Well, Sammy thought the Amish were a little haunted looking, and he goes, they look like they belong in commercials. Like, the only time I've ever seen people that look like that is in commercials, because I guess wholesome, organic people put up Amish-looking people. They do have electricity, so they don't shun electricity, but they're not tied into the grid. They only have solar power electricity. And I think what their values tell them is to be independent. So their family unit is independent, their farm is independent, and then their community is independent. And then
That's
they
awesome.
feel part of the country too, yeah. And so if you look, maybe Mario can Google this and add this in, the Amish had like a Trump train with their horses and buggies with Trump flags on, just like they did in Arizona. So they do pay attention to America and a larger political world too. Nice people. They took us into their home a little, and we slept outside. They offered us to have a place to sleep indoors, but we slept outdoors, and it was a challenge. And then you look homeless and you're with kids and you look like you're abusing your kids on the road, and you have this certain sense of, oh my God, I'm a mess, I can't be my normal self. So there's a certain self-awareness, self-consciousness of not being at home, not being comfortable, of being a stranger on a strange land, and having to rely on God and for things to come through for you at the last minute, and go a day or two, not a day or two, but miss a meal or two a day because you're not at your home, you don't have your food. And it was really grateful to come home And I thought about some of the sukkahs I had seen in Beverly Hills. You know, people run out air conditioning and a television and a couch, and yeah, they sleep outside in a little square booth. But we really slept on a farm under the stars, and it was suffering in a good way for me, because it just made me grateful when I came home. And so that's what I think the point of this holiday is to remember how our family, even though it was thousands of years ago, suffered as strangers in a strange land. And what it did for the people was it purged the ones that had been in Egypt, the ones that had been complaining about, like, oh, Moses, you dragged us out here to die in the desert. We could have died in Egypt. And, you know, we all want to complain about our situation, but it could always be worse. So we should really be thankful for whatever we have, not compare ourselves to others, judge ourselves against others, and make a road forward to improve ourselves, improve our situation. So we are at home, so we're no longer strangers in a strange land, that we make a home for ourselves. And that's kind of what Julie said, my daughter, at one point on the camping trip. She's like, oh, Dad, we're at home wherever we go because God's with us. And I was like, yeah, that's exactly the point of this trip. It takes sometimes an 8-year-old to say the truth. Just like, hey, Sammy said, the Amish look haunted and they look like they're from a commercial. Kids just tell the truth. So, hey, be innocent like the kids. God bless you guys. Be well, and we'll see you soon.